Well, and welcome once again to AV Racing TV. This is the F1 AV Championship. We're going to Singapore. We've got just over 2 minutes. Wait for the rest of the drivers to load in to the lobby. And well done to Mercedes. After their points last week and after getting up of the points, Mercedes has officially won the Constructors. Well done to Reaper and well done to Knack. That is... I'm not even sure who's got what Constructors now. I didn't even actually think to go look at that. Oh, my back hurts. Anyway, hey there, Lewis. How are you? Right. Just 1.5 minutes to get in to Singapore. So it comes down to constructors now between AlphaTauri and Haas. Only 7 points between those two, fighting it out over second and third place. Red Bull's there in fourth with 170. There's still 4 races left to go in the season. It could be done from Red Bull, but that's going to be possibly a bit of a tall order there. But AlphaTauri and Haas, there's still only one driver in there for the Haas FCST ever present this season, currently sitting in second in the Drivers' Championship and having a hell of a good run this season. Reaper, though, still in first in the Drivers' Championship, leading with 215 points. FCST in second with 183. Knack clipping at the hills with FCST with 173, only 10 points behind. Not in the lobby yet, 40 seconds left to go, only 12 drivers in here right now. We've got 2 Ferraris in here, good chance for them to get points. Both Renaults are in here as well. Have we got anyone? McLaren, both AlphaTauris, Nontas filling in again for Gargamelin. Knack is not here, Kuhn says in the chat. That is unfortunate. Hello there, VFL. Knack is here. We do have both Mercedes in the race again, just in time before the lobby loads off, as we now load in to Singapore, the Marina Bay Street Circuit. 50% race, which is 30 laps around here, 3.1 mile track or 5 kilometers, 23 corners, 3 DRS zones. Pretty tight street circuit, but Singapore does open up towards the end of section 1 and parts of sector 2 as well. Sector 3 generally a lot tighter. We'll see how drivers get on today. It's a very fast track with a lot of walls. See what the weather's like. I think everyone probably praying right now that it's gonna be dry. I wouldn't think Singapore is particularly fun in the wet. It looks dry for qualifying. Hopefully someone will let me know what it's like for the race. Dry race we have there. Thank you, Lewis. That is what we're all going to be hoping for. Let's get up our information. It's going to only 13 drivers in there, and so only 3 drivers at the end of qualifying are going to get to make that choice of tyre. So see James putting on that medium already. Don't know if maybe some of us save that medium to the end, try and get a good lap out of it and start further forward on the medium tyre, especially on a tighter track like this where overtaking may not always be possible. He's out on track there. Both the Renaults out on track. So Williams coming out of the garage. Ferrari, everyone looking to get out the garage quite early and get some laps in around through this 18-minute qualifying session. It's going to be needed. A lollopuppa there. Ferrari coming out on the mediums. James also testing the mediums. Everyone else coming out on the softs by the looks of it right now. Pretty much everyone straight coming out of the garage right now. We've got James and the Renault out nice and early. Wondering if we'll see another good battle between Reaper, Knack, James, FCST all at the front of the pack at some point, probably vying for position in the race. Now coming towards the end, I think we'll stick with James for our lap around Singapore. We'll get on with the onboard camera here, and we come across the timeline right now and make our way into the first 3 corners of this track. Not a very long run off the grid there into what's pretty much quick little right left chicane at the start straight away there. Turn 4 here is the little kink in the road here. Then we come down to turn 5, big right hander there, careful of the wall in the exit. Then we come in to the DRS zone. Turn 6 is again the kink in the road here, that's flat out there. And we come down to turn 7, which is the left hander down here, and you're careful not run too wide on the exit. James just about keeps it in check. I think there's a bit of lift of extra brake there. He came in pretty hot. Turn 8 there was that right hander, which he took quite tight. We've got turn 9, which we've just been through. Again, if you're careful on the exit of some of these corners, not to be running too wide and come into contact with the wall. We've got 10, which almost fires you into 11 here, and then we come back round through the bridge section here of 12, and then 13, the hairpin. You see Domestos pulling out the way there for James. And this then leads us into a nice long DRS section. DRS not very long when you come out of that hairpin. You can get on it pretty quickly. Up in to turn 14 now. Right hander seems to carry on a little bit longer than you think. Down now 15, a little kink which comes in to turn 16 here. And turn 17, a series of left, right, left bends. Now turn 18 going underneath the grandstands on turn 19. You need to be careful not to take too much curb on these. Curbs can be a bit bumpy. We've got turns 20 and 21 there, and then this comes up to 22 and 23 again. Very easy to stay on the power. Want to get on the power too quickly through the last 2 corners and invalidate. James keeps it in check, and that's a 138 on those medium tyres that he's just put in around here. Who else? So on the fast lap, Lotto's on invalidated lap on his mediums. Tessa doing a 135 on the softs here already. Smithy also with a 135, only 4 thousandths of a second separating Smithy and Tessa's times there right now. Oh, I didn't get my real life lap info up. Where's my website? Else is Max still in the pits right now. So time is Kuhn running around here. It's 135.865 for Kuhn. Kuhn been present on the podium every single race around Singapore that's been run during AV. He took a second in season 1, third in season 2, and a second place again in season 3. That top spot has eluded him, but nonetheless, he has always made it to the podium. So we got Williams of David there. He is on invalidated lap. The Red Bull Domestos, only one Red Bull in it today. He's going to be looking for a good start position today. Going to need to collect as many points for that team as he can right now. Although Red Bull in the constructors in a little bit of a kind of free no man's land there, really, probably for these last 4 races. Renault a bit too far behind to maybe catch them, although a couple of very good results from James could be possible. And we're not very close to Haas really in points unless we get an absolutely great run of Dom, which he's putting in. Provisionally P1 there right now for 135.252. Let's go Red Bull, one car in the race. Let's make that car count. Got there, Smithy pulling over. What's going on down the bottom? Rowan out on track right now. He's on a hot lap. To use this, where is Singapore? Marina Bay. Why can I not find it? Huh. Marina Bay. Fastest quality lap around here in real life is 136.015, set by Hamilton in 2018 during Q3. I mean, I'm pretty sure I just briefly saw that flash up purple on my screen for Sector 2 for Rowan, but I don't know if that's right. Sorry, but truths. Let's see what time we've got out there. That one that's 39.7. That puts him officially in at P7 right now. I'm on board for Knack. He's finally decided to come out of the garage. My internet obviously went weird then. Frame rate drop down to 30 frames. Knack appearing to abandon them. He's on an outlap anyway, so that doesn't matter. Drunk too much before the race has even begun. Montas right now, he's on outlap, so it doesn't matter. That's FCS TV side though, he's also on an outlap. James still out there, just running around laps on those medium tyres, getting a feel for this track in his Renault, seeing how it's handling. Everyone's pretty much out of the garage right now. Reaper is still in the garage right now. I think we're going to see him wait right till the end, to the very last few minutes, and then pop out and put in a phenomenal lap. Maybe, I just see someone backwards and broken. That was a Ferrari of lollopuppa on an out lap as well. That's upsetting. It's going to waste a lot of time trying to head back round to the garage without a wing right now. Singapore not very friendly through that third sector with no wing. With Knack now. Trying to get space for a run there, I think, and Reaper, his teammate, just coming out of the pits at the time, I think, when Knack wanted to stop his run. I'm not sure, or are they about to give each other a tow round this? No, because Knack's going very slow there on that lap. Did he come out? I'm not sure. We'll see what they do with their times in a minute. We're following Montas right now in the AlphaTauri. He's got a nice bit of clear track in front of him right now for his hot lap. We'll see how he does. Oh, I hate trying to remember the corners around here. That's a... coming through turn 9, look up there, that's unsettled the car, and he's abandoned that lap now. Coons has got a 5-place grid penalty for blocking the pit exit because they wanted to let people who were on a lap through. Well, don't block the pit exit while you let people through to do their lap then, Coon. That's the only thing I can say to that, my friends. Yeah. Be a little bit more careful on track where you choose to park. I don't control the stewards. Thank you, Codemasters, indeed. I don't think Codemasters unfortunately really accounted for factors into the game of, like, you know, people letting people past and stuff like that. Like, it's not really, I don't think, you know, programmed in to the AI. That's nonsense. Going into the garage, he's not gonna send it round for another lap. No. It's on a fast lap now, by the looks of it, I think. Quite a bit of inside curb there. Trying to throw it through that corner where we're going through there. That was 8, wasn't it? Bendy one comes back on himself a little bit more. Really nice on 9 on the power there early. Almost at the lift, I think, before it understeered into the wall slightly there. Very nicely through 10 and getting as wide as possible for 11. That's a good line through there. 13. Very nice on the apex of 13. Able to pick the throttle up into the DRS zone. That's flashing up purple there for Sector 2 for Knack, and that was quick out of turn 14 as well. So Knack is looking pretty good and pretty stable around here right now, but I would say I don't think Singapore in past history has been the best track for Knack. Very nice, strong line through 22 and 23 there. And that's quick as in Sector 3 as well it's come up with, but he's still 3/10 behind his teammate there of Reaper right now, who is just from 134.3, just ahead of Knack. Reaper still pushing on here for another lap. Or just driving back to the pits quickly. Knack's on an invalidated lap, so he's not going to be. Let's have a look at some of Reaper's lines through here. Reaper having won the Singapore Grand Prix for all 3 previous seasons that have been run here at AV. Reaper pretty much the king of Singapore. He's not on a push lap there right now. You can tell that from looking at him. Let's see who is the lollopuppa. Finally back out the garage right now. Well, we saw them damage their wing earlier within this qualifying session. Coming through 10-10 into 11. Nearly almost battling the car there through 12. A bit of oversteer there maybe from amount of camber and toe that's possibly on these tyres to make it around some of these corners. A lot of these corners, these right left-handed, they're not quite 90 degree, they're a little bit more, they're around 100 degree that you're going through. They're bending back on themselves a little bit. Pretty strong, consistent lines we're seeing through here from lollopuppa. Again, for the last couple of corners, pretty quick as well. Time we're running to 1:37.1 though. That's only good enough for 9th place. I'm sure I was getting maybe a little bit frustrated with this quali session. How it's been going for them so far. 3 minutes of quali left to go right now. Most of the drivers in the pits just waiting until those final minutes when the track is rubbered in as much as it possibly can be, so they can try and get that very, very fast lap in around here. Reaper put the time in on pole in season 3 with a 1:33.9. Knack was second on the front row of the grid there with 1:34.078. Neither of the drivers have hit their times from the previous season so far. We'll see if they manage to shave off those final few tenths in these last couple of minutes. Everyone going to be starting on the soft tyre. Guys at the back there, Could have. Not bad advantage there, starting on the medium tyres. These guys at the back, depending when the safety car comes and everyone else then putting in, they might be the right point to carry on. So it's a very good call for the guys at the back there to take that medium tyre. Hello there, Xz in the chat. Why are you not in the race today, my friend? Reaper on an out lap now. Knack still in the pits. I'll get back with Reaper when he does his quick lap. We'll get some on board with him around the track. I'm just a little bit more from FCST. Qualified 4th last time, finished in 5th, so it's got perhaps a pretty good run around here. Smithy retiring there. What's happened to the Renault? That's by the start. Turn 23, I think he's taking a bit too much curb and spun into the wall. There's a Ferrari coming near him. Can we see him? There he is off the side of the track there. You're ill. I'm sorry to hear that, Xz. I'm sorry that you are too ill to take part in the race today, my friend. That is unfortunate. I have Rowan today in the other McLaren. There's only 13 people in there. Hopefully he can get some more points for McLaren and maybe try and keep you guys ahead of Ferrari in the standings. What are we going to do to Reaper? This is what we wanted to see. Reaper now on his fast lap around Singapore. Get the onboard as wide as possible, just clipping the apex there through turn 5. Pulls in to the inside, takes a nice tight line there to that little kink of 6, minimising any distance. Misses off the curb there on 8, probably a good choice. That one can be a bit bumpy. Takes the curb on 9. Turns in beautifully though, just coming out by the wall, a lot of curb. Almost placing that curb between the wheels there on turn 10, that was. Such a wide entry there to 13. Lazardic very late apex on that and pick up the throttle very quick into the DRS zone down here, and that's come up as fastest there. And sector 2. Sector's last bit of sector 3 just needs absolute great precision rotation of those front wheels. Quick little recorrection there through 19. Nicely wheels curve placed either side of that curve, coming out on the exit of 21. And that's a 1:33.29 there, still off his time of the previous season. That's lows quicker. What am I saying? No. To beat his time in the previous season there by about 7/10. I'm pretty sure last season he may have been on the wheel for this as well, and unless he's on the wheel today, I'm pretty sure he's on the controller. What is Knack running right now though? Oh, I think he didn't beat it. 1:33.6 there for that. So front row of the grid though, we have Mercedes lockout again of Reaper and Knack. Second row Tess and Domestos. Third row Smithy and Kuhn. 7th is James. 8th FCST. 9th is David. 10th lollopuppa. 11th Rowan. 12th Mopoj and 13th Nontas. What a lap, said Lewis. That was a very nice, exceptional, clean lap of Singapore. Very efficient and very good driving. Trash, says Kuhn. Well, we'll see who's on that highest step of the podium at the end of the race, won't we, Kuhn? Why are you disappointed, Nontas? My friend, why are you disappointed? drivers right now selecting their tyre strategies and fuel before we go into the race. We have formation lap first. I'd expect to see those bottom three all on the medium tyre, so you can kind of have a slightly longer run there. Singapore, it's a tough call between the two-stop or the one-stop. You can one-stop it from softs to hards. Those hards are going to be pretty shot by the end of the race, but if you're one of the lead cars and you can get away well, it could absolutely be worth it. Otherwise, you've got potential double soft to medium strategy around here, probably taking about 7 or 8 laps each on a set of softs before then putting on the medium tyres for about 8 laps each on a set of softs, and then go about 16, and then that'll give 14 laps on a set of mediums at the end of the race, or however you want to play it. There's also always the option, guys, in the back there, if they've taken that medium tyre, to do a medium to hard and to be very safe on their tyres and make sure their tyre hard is in better condition for the others. But let's have a look what everyone's opted for. James qualified on the medium tyre there with his time. Well to James. A P6 start there on the medium is pretty good. Right, apparently also qualifying on the medium tyre there as well. Rowan would have been in 11th, but Kuhn's 5-place grid penalty has dropped him down to 11th. Nontas at the back there. I thought Nontas qualified higher than that. I'm not paying attention to penalties. What have we got there? What's the game giving us here? Game's giving us a 2-stop anyway, a soft, medium, medium. Oh, it's even giving us a 3-stop around Singapore. Oh, I mean, 3 stops probably is going to be likely for some drivers, I should imagine. I hope we don't have too many collisions, too many broken wings, too much debris, too many safety cars, but this is a tight street circuit. Passing can be difficult in certain sectors. We need to manage and judge our time. What is going on here? Knack spinning already on the formation lap there. We don't want to be overheating our tyres, so I'm not sure what he did, but back in there looking a little bit loose still. I think those tyres are maybe a little hot now. We'll see what he's like off the grid, and don't need a repeat of Azerbaijan and seeing Mercedes just flying straight on when we get to the corner. I mean, he's starting on the same side of the track. We're going into a left-hand corner. And because you qualified on the soft cone inside the top 10, then your grid penalty is applied. Lights are out, and we make that run up into turn 1. Reaper's got away very well there. Domestos pushing already. James has got away very well up there on the inside as well. Well, Mercedes and that running very wide there, I think, to avoid contact. Clipping back in, getting very close to a Ferrari there. Ferrari has twisted on the inside. That's picked up James in the process as well. That's one of... oh, my God. That isn't good. Don't get too wide there, going down into turn 7 right now. Car's still vying for positions. AlphaTauri of Kuhn making up positions into P5, ready, battling with Smithy there, and Knack. Domestos up in P2 right now. Kuhn edging his front his way into Smooth there. Smooth there, got the inside line, slips in behind him right now. He's in 6th, Rose down here in 7th, which is 8th. Nontas, it was a Tess and James. I'm not sure if Knack tapped Tess when he rejoined that track then or not, and that's what caused the Ferrari to spin, or whether Tess was just trying to get the power down a little bit too quick out of the corner, and that caused the spin themselves. But that's allowed Reaper to just have that little breakaway already. He's nearly already a second in front of Domestos. This is exactly what he's going to be happy with and looking for around here. So when the DRS gets activated on lap 3, there's no one near him to be able to get a tow from out. Domestos is going to be pushing as hard as he can right now to also try and stay with Reaper so he can get that DRS tow. Let's get all our info back up. That was too much of a fun-filled lap on lap 1. Let's look. What am I looking for? I always like. Why can't I remember where anything is on this goddamn thing? No, I'm not even watching the racing. Position change. That's what we wanted. Knack losing down to 5 positions now. What's going on with that Mercedes of Knack right now? Why can't I get a better camera to look at his wing? It's there. No, I think that's the interval time's going crazy. Yeah, well done, game. Look, we just had a lap of it being fine. Now you want to screw me over. Normally you do this on the first lap, not like now. FCFT's in first. No, he's 10th. Reaper's third. Mopodge. Tess is leading now after spinning on the first lap. What is your problem, game? Mopodge is in second, boss, still in the pits. Come on, Codemaster. Oh my god, I can't wait till we can move to the new game. Hopefully this interval system works better. It seems to just get crazier every week. Alright, what's going on? Oh, we're in correct position right now, apart from Mopodge. What? There we go. David right now, dropping down to the back of the grid. He's behind Mopodge right now. James is down in 10th, in with the penalty right now. Coon, biggest winner out of the start of that race, gaining up 7 positions there from 11th to 4th. Pretty much doing most of that in the first couple of corners. Had a battle with Smithy to overtake him already. FCST there creeping up behind Smithy now as well. I don't know if anyone has his wing looks attached. Good to see. Reaper though, absolute breakaway there at the front, 3 seconds already in front of Domestos. Yellow flags for sector 3, what's going on? There's a Ferrari again. That is Tess in the Ferrari. This Ferrari is not doing well around here. Xz, this could be your lucky day, my friend. I think McLaren may be outscoring Ferrari on this race. You could be staying above them in the constructors. This doesn't look like lollopuppa pitting already as well. This doesn't look like it's going very well for Ferrari right now. We're on lap 3. DRS is going to be reactivated and FCST is getting ever closer up to Smithy right now. FCST seen absolutely great performances from him season, running a little bit deep there through turn 11 though. It's a pretty good turn through 13 though. Smithy though, that ran a very quick on the straights. Right now, McLaren and Rowan right now, creeping up on 7th of the AlphaTauri of Nontas. And James there also right behind as well. James going to be looking to get clear past these couple of cars very quickly. Let's get a bit of on board with James right now. You can see, is he going to be attacking Rowan, or is Rowan going to be attacking Nontas first? Rowan's in that top position in the middle there right now. Does he defend? Does he attack? Which one does he gonna do? We've got James going past on Rowan right there, and there was a big old entanglement there. James not having a great race, and there is a virtual safety car right now. There's a Williams of David. Can we see it as we come around the corner here? No, it's already been cleared out the way. That was on turn 8. I think he's come around and clipped his wheel on that wall there. There is a tiny little bit of wall that if you're running your wheel super close to it, you'll clip and it will just rip your wheel straight off as you put the accelerator down. I have absolutely done it myself on that corner. Not sure what happened between Rowan and James. Following on with James there myself, it looked like Rowan pulled out the way off the corner to let James past, and then I don't know what happened behind James. I thought he'd made it past Rowan and was going into the corner. Anyway, we're racing again. The virtual safety car is over. Reaper just pulling out that lead. Knack pulling into the pits right now on lap 5. He's put on a medium tyre right now. He's going to be looking at 2-stopping this then. It's not taken any wing damage or anything. I think he's just maybe further back. Domestos then looking pretty good and free right now. Domestos been on the podium around here once before in season 3. Domestos picked up a 3rd here. Reaper, though, as we said before, is the sole winner of every race that's been held around here. Reaper also the owner of every fastest lap around this track. And now currently the owner of 3 out of 4 pole positions. Wouter, driver not present today, was the only other person apart from Reaper to have a pole position here on this track, and that was in season 2. All the cars getting pretty spread out now between themselves. Everyone's had to pit various times, taking some damage, come into some problems, clipped some walls, been driven into by someone else. Interesting Knack pitting quite as early as he did, though. I think he's going to be going for a 2-stop double medium strategy, I think, with where he was there and the time that he's pitted in at. He's not going to run them to the end and one stop it from lap 5 and do 25 laps on them, but of 25, what's that? He could comfortably run a 12 and a 13th lap stint on there, but we've got Domestos and Reaper both coming in to the pits right now. Reaper coming out on the medium tyres. What tyres Domestos putting in? Also put on the medium tyres. No one's gonna chance that running the softs a little bit longer, and I think throwing on the hards to go to the end. Singapore, very tight, sharp corners, like I said before, almost turning back on themselves more than 90 degrees, up more towards the 198 degree kind of point. You need that grip and that power to get out around these corners. Knack has managed to pull an undercut off on Domestos, though, through that pit stop. And also a pretty efficient one on his teammate of Reaper right there now as well. 1.5 seconds. Knack's tire is also going to be very much more up to temperature right now. I still can't remember what anything is. It's because I drink every time before I do this. So Reaper obviously on his out lap of those tires. Why have I got 0 laps still on Knack's tires? Knack already pitted previous lap. Random. Anyway, never mind that. That's going on with the game. Reaper, though, those cold tires not seeming to affect him too much. Knack absolutely pushing here. Nearly out of the RS already. Trying to get with his teammate. Runs into there a little bit deep. That's cost him a little bit more time. 2 seconds distance now between him and Reaper. Reaper obviously on cold tires from recent coming straight out the pits, although Reaper now potentially tests his AI there. But it's ghosted, so not even that's going to hold him up. Nat could be lucky here though with testing his AI, because that was the timeline right just then. He should get DRS right now along this little section, and I think it's that same DRS timeline for the one. No, the other one got changed. It should be by it. 1.8 seconds. Still going to be a push for Knack right now. Kuhn putting on those hard tyres. He's gone for that big old one stop. He knows where he started down there in 11th. And I think he knows if he takes too many pit stops, it could drop him down a bit too much. So he's gone for that long run on the hard tyres. Domestos right now. Domestos picked up penalties. That's not what we need, Red Bull. Oh, we got there 3 seconds already on Domestos. Nomtas leading the race right now on 6 laps of softs. have Reaper breathing down his neck quite yet, but I think Knack would be pretty happy if they caught up to Nontas pretty soon so he could start slowing Reaper down for him. Reaper pulling away again there, 2.4 seconds. This Mercedes is just too quick and stable around this track, ever closing that gap in on Nontas. I swear that was like 3 seconds 2 corners ago. It is phenomenally just eating away at time against him right now. Nontas getting a big snap oversteer, trying to get the power down out of turn 20 just then. And he knows it's time to pit right there. Reaper's allowed to put his foot back on the floor now, not being held up. There's the fastest lap for him right now. Got going on here, so at the back here we've got Kuhn on the hard tyre. As the Reaper got his fastest lap, that's a 1:38.7 he's currently put down as his fastest lap. Official lap records, Marina Bay, the official, oh Jesus, really? Ha! The official lap record for Marina Bay is held by none other than Kevin Magnussen. And there's Nontas coming out of the pits, fighting with his teammate right now. Nontas is going to have the tyre advantage right now. I'm following what's going on in this corner, but yeah, Marina Bay, street circuit. Official lap record is a 1:41.905, held by Kevin Magnussen in 2018. I mean, Reapers, we've absolutely destroyed that so far on the game. A lot of drivers running quicker than that lap time on the game. Oh, lollopuppa hasn't beat it. Lollopuppa is 3,000th of beating Kevin Magnussen. I expect better from you, Ferrari. God damn Kevin Magnussen. God, I fucking hated that guy. What's going on in the race anyway? Enough about my personal preference about real life F1 drivers. Where are you? Why have I not even got interval time on? Let's see where everyone is. Nontas right now, closing on lollopuppa. Kuhn sitting behind. This could be helpful for Kuhn right now on the hard tyres. If he's got Nontas in the front, Nontas trying to pass on Lolla could open up a gap for him as well. Could also sit and collect the DRS off his teammate that's on the softer, faster tyre and get a tow basically around the track from his teammate. Not if he smashes his wing on his teammate on the entrance to turn 18 though. That's going to be very unfortunate. Lollopop is in the wall there. I don't know. Did Nontas clip the back of the Ferrari then or not? I'm not sure. That's going to have to be rewatched in a replay. Slow-mo. Nontas in the wall. Kuhn's lost half his wing. Not quite half his wing. It's an end plate. I exaggerate. Bad times in the midfield right now. Front drivers, Reaper just putting on Knack, but Knack constantly pulling on the Red Bull right now of Domestos, who rapidly has FCST pretty slowly pushing and trying to catch up with them. We're looking roughly the same on the ERS right now as well between both these drivers. It's going to be tight. Domestos obviously though has that 3-second penalty, and that could cost him a lot by the end of this race if FCST can maintain pace and stay with him like he is right now. If they pit out, even if they choose to pit at the same time, then if FCST is going to try for an undercut or an overcut a little bit later in the race, when they switch back on the other set of mediums. But even if he doesn't and he chooses to pit in when Domestos does as well to make sure he's safe and stays with him the whole race, he's still going to get that position from the penalties. See Kuhn right now. That damaged wing is costing this AlphaTauri. He has slipped back from holding pace close behind Nontas there. He's got James super close right behind him right now, and if Kuhn's going to pit for a wing, he already put that hard tyre on. He's got 20 laps to go. That's going to be... He's going to have to put on another set of hards, I think, to go to the end there. 21 laps on a set of mediums isn't going to be comfortable he is. That's the Ferrari garage. What's he putting on? He's opted for a set of mediums now. I brake tested both 80s. I was watching you, Kuhn, as you hit the back of the other AlphaTauri of non-TAS. I don't know if he brake tested you, but obviously Singapore being a very tight street circuit, if you come off your line a little bit while you're racing around here, you might have to suddenly slam on the brakes. It's kind of hard to stop yourself going into the wall. It's very tricky doing tight street circuits, because obviously it's down to the reactions of the person behind if they're going to go into the back of them or not. But obviously there's a report to be made, make it, and we will look at it in the Stewards Reaper right now, just flying around this track. I swear it keeps dropping frames. The onboard's dropping frames, that one's normal. Rowan, 3-second penalty for multiple warnings right there. Rowan, Mopoj and Domestos, the only drivers to pick up penalties currently in this race. 3 seconds for Domestos, 6 seconds for Mopoj, and 8 seconds for Rowan currently. Not many places you can pick up penalties around this track. FCST though, what has happened to the Haas? His wing looks intact, but has come into some sort of problems. Either that or Domestos has absolutely found another gear, because FCST was closing down that gap, almost down to about 1.5 seconds between Domestos, almost creeping in to DRS range, and now Domestos has almost gotten clear of his penalty window right now. 13 drivers started this race, only 11 are going to be finishing. One person currently is not, who's left racing, is not going to be taking points. All the rest of them will. Lots of spaces between the drivers right now. Everyone on pretty similar tyre strategy, although non-TAS did run his tyres a little bit longer, his softs at the start than the rest. He's looking pretty good here in 6th. I think he got held up a little bit with that Lola spin though. He's got 11 seconds back there to Smithy, but he does have slightly fresher tyres. This could be slightly interesting midfield battle, and I'm unsure what Kuhn's going to do from now on. He's on a set of mediums right now with still 19 laps left to go around this track. Don't know where they're going to fare by the end of this race. FCST dropping very far back now from Domestos. I don't know if his ERS is looking very, very low there right now. Domestos looking a bit more safer there with that ERS right now. FCST pushing very hard there through the bridge section there, almost clipping the wall. I hope his wings are still okay. It didn't sound like a big enough impact to take off an M plate. It's still currently in one piece, but you can see the Haas pushing so much to stay with the Red Bull of Domestos right now. Just grab some on board with the race leader for a second while we go around the track. There's a lot of space between everyone. There's only 11 drivers left. Who's that picking up more penalty? Non-TAS there now with a 3-second penalty. James closing the gap on him currently. Those penalties are going to come into play. Non-TAS is closing down that time on Smithy, and Smithy, I'm not sure if he's closing down that time on FCST. It's not It's only a couple of tenths off being into FCST's DRS range. That's FCST looking very low on the ERS after chasing Domestos. Smithy got a little bit more there in reserve. Knows he's catching up to him as well. Could see the Renault attacking the Haas in a minute, and could see James catching up to Nontas in a second as well just afterwards. Let's have a look right now. Smithy, did he get it? He did. Jesse's pushed hard through that bridge section, making those mediums work for him right now. He's got the DRS and FCST. It's not going to be enough to make anything work into turn 14, but if he can stay very close behind now for the remainder of Sector 3, you do get the DRS off the timeline, although that is a very short section. You've then got to wait till after turn 5. We've got another DRS section, and a much longer one at that, to really make sure to getting a job done. It's going to be helping Domestos out right now if Smithy starts to attack FCST. If these two get held up a little bit in a bit of an entanglement for a while, that's going to allow Domestos to start pulling away and protect himself, even though he's got that 3-second penalty. Domestos picked up a third place around here in last season, in season 3. This could potentially be another third place for him as well. This is where Smithy needs to get close through the last corner, get good acceleration out of turn 5, make this DRS zone count. FCST, I think, giving it everything he's got right now to stay in front of Smithy. And he just about manages to do so. See the Renault very much under braking. I think the Haas coming into the corners there. We see that front wing lunging very close into the back gearbox of the Haas. Just keep pushing a bit through the car sector. That Renault, the line there through it, and we see him pull alongside the back of the Haas there. Gets a much better line through the bridge. Smithy gonna have the DRS now as well. And he's got the outside. FCST under braking him though into turn 14 there. Just manages to stay ahead. Smithy gonna have to wait another lap right now to try and get this done. Not much space here through the remnants of Sector 3, unless the drive in front takes hands a bit wide, takes some curb or something. How close can we fly through? 22 and 23. It's going to need some serious underbraking there from the Renault. FCST pulls to the inside to protect. We got James should be attacking Nontas right now here as well. Both the Renaults here on absolute attack mode around Singapore. One against the AlphaTauri, one against the Haas. FCST and Smithy there, so close. Smithy getting around to the outside. FCST still controlling at the corner though, coming through turn 8 right now. I don't know which screen to look at. Who should I be watching? James on Nontas or Smithy on FCST? Both suggesting. Look at Smithy and FCST again. They're coming in to the DRS zone, and then we'll flip back to the other ones once they get to the end of the DRS zone. Can Smithy get the job done here again? The Renault looks like it gets into that hairpin so much quicker. FCST though. Surprised this Haas has any ERS left right now. James not close enough either on Nontas to get past there. Pretty challenging track to try and get it past people, as we see here through like the Sector 3. Unless the car really goes off or spins off something, it's pretty hard. You pretty much got to wait for the DRS zones. There's a couple of corners you might be able to get on the inside of someone, but you've got to really get alongside them to be able to get through the corner. James pushing everything right now to catch on Nontas. Nontas not looking too bad on the ERS compared to James. Smithy right now, he's very close. Front wheel almost by his back wheel coming out of that corner. Has so much acceleration. Smithy finally gets alongside now. FCST slips back in behind the Renault. He finally decides he has been beat at corner 9 just then. Let's have a look how the other Renault of James is faring against Nontas right now. Still pushing on that AlphaTauri. Again, these Renaults. What's going on with the Renaults? These cars seem to be getting much more pull out of the corners sometimes. Nontas almost coming to the racing line a little bit there. James, again, the Renaults seem to be very strong launching into turn 13 there, but again, the other cars taking it through that bit more slow in, fast out, and they are maintaining their distance down the DRS section. Reaper currently 8 seconds ahead of Knack, 21 seconds ahead of Domestos right now, but Domestos does have a 5-second gap between him and Smithy. And his penalties are also equal to that of Smithy, so Domestos at Red Bull looking pretty happy right now. We've got about just under half a race left to go. Renault giving it everything again, and it's just quite not enough to get in front of that AlphaTauri. Goon right now. Kuhn, Reaper and Tess, the only drivers without penalties right now. Kuhn is 37 seconds behind the Renault of James here after his unfortunate contact with the back of Nontas, which forced him to pit again to replace his wing. Just one end plate missing from your car, from your front wing around this track. It makes it absolutely difficult to turn through these very hard corners, especially when it's kind of 90-degree-ish corners where you need to be getting the power down very quick on the exit. James, once again, getting a slightly wider line so he can try and take a late apex through 13 there, so he can try and get the power down quicker. Got the DRS, still can't quite get the move and job done on to Nontas. Knack has called it. He's coming for his pit stop again. I mean, he did have a pretty big buffer there to Domestos. Kind of a long pit lane here, but he knows those other drivers have to pit. About 11 laps on there. What have they got left to go? 28-10. About 13-14 laps on these mediums at the end here, though. He's come out, he's split up Smithy and FCST on his exit right now. FCST could almost get into range. James finally makes it up the inside of Nontas. They're coming through the 7. James catching up to FCST, Knack pulling away so quickly on those gold mediums from FCST. As I was going to say, FCST could almost get into DRS of Knack, could get a little bit of a tow before he needs to come in and pit his tyres, but Knack absolutely just driving away already. Cold tyres, no problem for the Mercedes driver. I wonder if Codemasters programmed in DRS, not DRS, the fucking their other one. Thanks for pointing the RB at Red Bull in the chat. I didn't read that out because it came out quickly. It's Kuhn's brake testing, and I just saw it and remembered it again. Let's go Domestos. looking at that P3 Nontas right now. Managing to stay with James. He's catching up to FCST as well. FCST also coming in to the pits. Nontas has called time on 9 laps of those mediums. I think he could have maybe gone a couple more laps unless he needs a wing change as well. Have a look what's going on with these two. No wing change happening for Nontas. Just reasonable. He has made out from FCST though from that pit stop. It's just jumped. FCST not going to be happy from that because I don't think FCST took a wing change, did he? I went in right in front of him. Nontas got the quicker stop there and it's come out in front. It's closed down the gap a little bit for Goon right now, but he's on 8 lap old mediums. He's going to be pushing these mediums to the limit if he goes to take those to the end. Reaper's also pitted in right now. Domestos is pitted. James, the other driver, running out right now. Yeah, it's a pit back in. Let's look at our leader time. Where's James Rufford looking at coming back out if he keeps going around here right now? Got 20 seconds off the leader. If we take 20 seconds off that, he's gonna be close with whether he loses that position against a Nontas. Nontas already pulling away from FCST there, and they came out the pits relatively very close together, and Nontas has already got a big old gap between him and FCST, disabling that DRS for him. I think if James isn't careful, the Renault might find himself having to battle his way past the AlphaTauri again. Down at 7th, he might come out and split the AlphaTauri and Haas again. I mean, all that could be beneficial for Kuhn if he's going to try and take his mediums to the end. I can't see Kuhn want to take off those mediums and put another set of tyres on, because that's going to drop him a lot further back, although he has got a pit window there between him and Rowan if he really feels and needs he has to. But James putting on hard tyres at the end there. And where is Nontas there? Nontas going to be coming up the pit straight right now. James is there. He's just going to make his way past him. Nontas is not going to have the tyre advantage, and James has to get that work done all over again now. Past the AlphaTauri. Great pit stop strategy there from Nontas, realising he'd been beat. He could have taken those mediums for longer, but he knew if he took the undercut right then, could potentially make that work. And now James has a disadvantage on the tyres. He's really going to have to push those hard to make them work, because Nontas should be pretty fine for the end of the race there. He's only got 11 laps to do on those mediums. James, I think, for running those mediums so long in the qualifying session and obviously starting on them, he hasn't been able to have another set to use. Interesting battles and tyre strategies. We've got FCST right now. He's on fresh tyres right now. He wants as many points as he can. Mac potentially going to move in front of FCST in the standings after this race today. I think a lot of it is going to come down to our penalties at the end of the day, although Smithy Nontas, James said over 3 seconds, FCST with 6 seconds, that's going to hurt him. Even if he does make it in front of one of these drivers in front of him, James or Nontas, his chances of working off 3 of those seconds as well, it's going to be pretty difficult, considering James is getting DRS right now from Nontas. It's could be a pretty intense little battle between the AlphaTauri, Renault and Haas through these last 10 laps of the race. Everyone else pretty much spread out right now. Reaper still comfortably in the lead there, 14 seconds in front of his teammate. Absolutely no penalties. Knack there have 11 seconds of penalties. We said earlier at the start that Singapore hasn't maybe always been Knack's race due to his penalties, but it seems like he's kept his wing pretty much intact through this race. Hasn't had to suffer any big pit stops, and might have the ability to actually work off his penalties right now. And if Smithy can keep creeping on Domestos right now, could be looking at a podium. Smithy himself with a 3-second penalty, so he needs to be under 5 seconds to Domestos. Domestos currently has 8 seconds of penalties. This Renault can keep pushing. We could see the Renault on the podium. We could see, I think that'll be Smithy's first podium in the AV League as well. Let's go, Smithy. There's a tenth or two off through that corner. Nope, it's jumped back up. Never mind. Let's go, Renault. Let's push on. Sorry, Red Bull. Support the underdog. Ooh, running out of beer. This race is a little bit too intense. What's going on there? That's James really pushing. He wants back past the AlphaTauri again. As we said, gotta get that job done over and over again. We'll take that front row seat from FCST's Haas. He's just going to be hoping that these two drivers maybe cause a collision and slow each other down so you could potentially perhaps leapfrog both of them through a DRS zone, is what this Haas driver is going to be hoping for. Ron hold in, a pretty nice line through here. FCST getting very close to the back of the Renault through that corner. Turns in much tighter as well. I think James is really working and pushing on those hard tyres to stay in front of these two. He's trying to push pressure on Nontas. He's got to try and defend and hold his line against FCST creeping on behind him. Certainly seemed like coming at turn 13 and FCST maybe hit the brakes a bit harder than he normally would through there. Seemed to be very slow coming out of the hairpin. I think this Haas could maybe run at a faster pace right now without this Renault and AlphaTauri in front of him. But that is racing. Nontas also with 6 seconds of penalties right now. James and FCST both going to be very happy of that. Nontas having a little weave and then opens up the inside. James obviously on the hard tyres. Can't get that grip and power down to get through there. FCST here just staying with these two pretty comfortably. Following on board with. I don't think he's having too much problems maintaining pace with these two. He just kind of needs those two to squibble a little bit and open up a gap for him to dart through. What happened to James just then? I think he had a massive lockup and just went straight. Then FCST going to be happy with that. Him and Nontas also with the same penalties, so if he can make his way back past Nontas, and could be much happier with that 5th place. That'll help him much to defend against Knack. And I think if FCST can move up into 5th right now. What's that? 10 points. Knack picking up 18 points. FCST will be able to remain in front of Knack by 2 points going into the next race of the season, which is Spain. Ugh, what a track. Not personally one of my favourites is Spain. Yeah, fine to watch it. I don't like driving it myself. FCST getting a DRS from Nontas right now. James slipping back from those two. That hard tyre just not able to really keep up with the mediums. And Mopoj. Passing Mopoj to get into 9th, both of the back here with a lot of penalties. FCST giving it everything. Nontas trying to defend and keep him to the inside, but just too much Haas and not too much Haas, too much ERS, and DRS has got the Haas in front of the AlphaTauri finally. I think we're going to be able to catch up to Smithy, but FCST, Nontas and James are all having 6-second penalties right now. This Haas looks like it could be pretty safe in P5. Thinking FCST should have been able to conserve his tyres quite a bit. It looked like he was being held up a little bit from being behind the Renault and the AlphaTauri there. So I think he should be able to open up a little bit now, push a little bit, and build up a bit of a safer gap between him and Montas already through the end of that sector. He's built up that gap to 0.8 of a second. DRS gap around here, you really need to be within that kind of like 0.3 region coming through the corners to really make that pass on the DRS zones. Montas getting a bit of wobble there, trying to get the power down to stay with FCST. He's not going to be able to get the job done, and he's going to get the DRS, but he won't be able to get past in any way through this first DRS sector. It'll help him stay with FCST, close off a 10th or two. FCST pushing through the DRS sector though. He's getting DRS from Mopods. That's great for FCST right now, being stuck behind on the back runners. That's going to give him DRS from these sectors. That's going to help him defend from Montas so much right now. Smithy though, 5-6 laps left to go off the race, and Smithy has slowly closed that gap down on the Red Bull. He is within Domestos' penalty range right now, but we do have about 5 more laps to go around this race, so everything could change between that damaged wing, picking up penalties, anything like that, but I hope not. Let's get Renault on the podium, Smithy. I think James has Renault had this season. Renault's had 3 podiums this season, supplied by James. It's had a first, second, and a third. It's had one of each. Let's get it on there again. In fact, Renault's actually had more podiums than Red Bull this season right now. Red Bull only taking 2 podiums this season, Renault having 3. And this could be another one for the Renault today. Very slowly, slightly eating away at that time, like corner by corner. We're not looking at tenths, we're looking at a few hundredths, corner by corner, slowly whittling it down though, and that's all we need to stay below that 5-second mark. That's all the Renault's gonna need to do to get on that podium. It doesn't have to fully catch him, just needs to not pick up any more penalties himself and stay within the Red Bull's penalty window. Montas still chasing on FCST. He's out of DRS range right now though. I said I thought the Haas was holding back. Reaper there, picking up a penalty now. Runner. Pretty clean, unblemished race until now. Right now, Kuhn and Tess, the only drivers not to pick up a penalty. Surprised about the Ferrari, not about Tess's driving, I don't mean, but I mean obviously the Ferrari of Tess having spun a few times. I'm surprised the game didn't end up issuing penalties over that, because we know the game likes to, when you make mistakes sometimes, just dish out a penalty. Tiny little bit of a look up there, but the back of this Mercedes so stable as we're coming out these corners and putting the power back down. See it just on that front view, not even faltering. There's tiny little puffs of smoke, and hear that tiny little squeal of the brakes just about to lock up as they're just being pushed and tested at their absolute limit. And that's fine, so we're back off the brake and getting back off the accelerator. There it is again, that time. Oh, just about to lock them, and we're back off. Literally keeping this car at its absolute minute, lap through lap, 32 seconds in front of NAC right now. That is pray for normal achievement here around this track. We've got Smithy though, slowly eating that time away. James putting in a fastest lap there. I see. What was that time that came up for it? Oh, it's not on this one, is it? It's on the telemetry. No, It's on this one. No, it's on this one. James won 36.493. Absolutely smashed Kevin Magnussen's pathetic 141. I think everyone's beat Kevin Magnussen's 141 there. No, Lollopuppa didn't. Lollopuppa was a few thousandths of, I'm sorry, Lollopuppa. And David. You didn't beat Kevin Magnussen either. Or Tess, come on. God, we have to beat Kevin Magnussen. The guy fucking sucks. Fastest lap, unless Reaper's got anything left in him, that fastest lap for 5/10 quicker right now. The end of Reaper's fastest lap records around Singapore could come to an end today with James having put on soft tyres at the end there. I don't know, on 8-lap old mediums, if Reaper can beat his time by another 5/10. I mean, it's looking pretty comfortable on the ERS there. He's got absolutely enough ERS to burn around if he wants to go that route and try and push, but he's going to have to go now before his tyres wear any more if he wants that fastest lap back or not. Lang says, Smithy, slow down. That is Smithy's interval time. He is staying more comfy. It's just about 8/9 close to the Mestos there. Let's have a look again. He's getting on the penalties for the end here. Where's the penalties to? No one else is going to be pitting anymore. James has taken that fastest lap point back there. Rosie had a pit window, but he's got Kuhn there. He's got that fastest lap point, but he's potentially given that. He's potentially pitted in to take the fastest lap point from being behind Untas, but he could potentially lose his position to Kuhn right now anyway, so he's taken 1 point and foregone 2 points. That was potentially a worse decision there for James, unless he can work off about another 4.2 seconds there from that AlphaTauri in what is going to be 2.5 laps right now. That's a pretty tall order. He's on the soft tyres though. Kuhn's going to be on some pretty old mediums. He might be able to do it right now. He's obviously got confidence in his skills, and through those last couple of corners it looks like he can. 3 seconds already. Let's go. I'm interested up here with how this Renault's running right now. Just needs to stay with the Red Bull. I'm sorry Red Bull, I like Red Bull, but I just like the underdog. Oh, hit the button. I'm running out of beer. It's been too intense. I've been drinking too quickly. This can's basically empty before my laps have finished. That's not a good sign. Coming on to it, Reaper should be... Nope, he is on lap 30. We're going to have one more lap after this race. We're about Smithy on lap. Smithy, 1.5 laps left to go. Let's get on board with the Mestos right now. ERS isn't looking great. Smithy's got a little bit more there to burn. This Red Bull knows it needs to get about 7 more tenths, 8 more tenths away comfortably. It needs to get a second away from Smithy through 2 more laps to make himself a bit more comfortably safe. Slow doing it. What's happening there with that time with Smithy? Test there. I think disconnected. That's the AI still going round. Don't know if Smithy was maybe trying to wait and stay behind the AI there to get the DRS to help him then, or not. He's still just tiny bit in that pit window. What has happened to Kuhn right here? And James, I think something bad has happened to Kuhn there. He's now 43 seconds behind James. I swear my interval times had James right next to Kuhn. What's happened to Rowan now as well? He's spun there. Reaper's about to come through. Because Rowan's going to be just after the kink here of turn 6. What is he doing in a wall right there along the straight section? Way before the breaking point of turn 6. I'm completely unsure of what has happened there. Into time, Smithy regained that time a little bit there. Back to Domestos. Back in that 4-second mark. We've got 1 lap left to go around this track. All these penalties are going to come into play. I'm upset for the Goon, the other AlphaTauri here right now. Unsure what has happened. Wing still looks attached. I swear he was so closer to James earlier. I'm not sure if he's just spun, managed to save his wing or something, but test right now. Ferrari going to take 1 point by the end of this race. As long as Tess hasn't been lapped too much before the race ends. And they're going to close 1 point closer to McLaren Xz. I'm sorry, my friend. Your other McLaren teammate didn't manage to finish the race. Reaper has finished the race, though. He's done a really knack. Still back here at the start of Sector 3. Reaper a whole sector ahead of any other driver by the end of the race. Smithy, half a lap left to go to see if he can get on the podium. Nontas here, super close to FCST as well. FCST picking up another penalty to 9 seconds. Nontas potentially gonna jump FCST. Take it calm, Nontas. Don't throw it into the corners like that. You could potentially get another position, my friend. There's Knack, he's coming across the line there in second. Domestos right now comes through the penultimate corners up to turns 23, been pushing very hard there, but that Renault's been racing so hard behind him. Domestos comes home in third, but he's going to lose that podium out to the Renault of Smithy. FCST and Nontas right now. FCST, I think he's going to bring it home in 5th, but again, he is going to lose that position before Nontas doesn't pick up a penalty. There we go, Nontas into 5th, FCST in 6th. James is there in 7th. Kuhn is in 8th. Mopodge is going to be coming home in 9th. Where is Tess? Is Tess going to move above Rowan or not? Is the race going to finish for them before they manage to beat up to Rowan? Rowan's going to retire and maintain the position of 10th. Xz, my friend, in the chat there. McLaren will be getting more points than Ferrari. That was intense, says Nontas. Maybe, but well done, my friend. That's a top 5 finish for you. That is nothing to turn your nose at, my friends. There we have the two Mercedes of Reaper and Knack on the podium. Reaper maintains his perfect win streak of Singapore. Go Dom, only 7/10, says Lang. Very good effort from Dom there. Couldn't quite hold off that Renault, though. There are podium finishers of Reaper, Knack and Smithy. Fourth podium here for the Renaults. Fourth podium for the Renaults, I mean, this season. Domestos in 4th, Nontas 5th, FCST 6th, James 7th, Kuhn 8th, Mopodge 9th, Rowan 10th, Tess 11th, lollopuppa 12th, and David 13th. The Ferrari brake tested me, says Nontas. As I said to Ken earlier, obviously send in reports. They'll be looked at in the steward shower, but obviously, like I said, I'm not sure if Ferrari purposely brake tested you. Singapore is one of those very tight street circuits, and if you kind of turn in to one of those corners a bit off your line, you might find yourself slamming on the brake really heavy to make sure you kind of don't clip onto the wall on the other side or run wide so you can be safe. And unfortunately then incidents may happen where the cars behind obviously then run into them because they're driving front, slam on the brakes to try and protect their front wing, and obviously no one's expecting them to do that because they've slipped off their line, missed their break point very slightly. So I don't think it was intentional with lollopuppa. I think I caught most of that on the stream. I don't think we normally see any kind of bad racing like that from lollopuppa. I don't think anyone brick tested anyone on purpose in that race. I enjoyed that. That's the end of Singapore. As we said, Mercedes have already won that championship. I think AlphaTauri should be able to pull a few more points away from Haas after that result, after well on to Nantas reserving today in that race. Unfortunate to Dom, just losing out on that podium to Renault, but well done to Smithy for your first podium here in AV. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, your 6th race in AV, and you've taken a podium position. Well done, Smithy. That's it for today. We'll be back on Thursday at the same time for, Spain. I hate that track. Be back for one of my least favourite tracks ever on Thursday. Goodbye.